Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode in the Manchester United beta save, we're going to get things kicked off against Viktoria, let's just call them Viktoria, in the European Champions League, of course. And as you can tell from the homepage, not doing too poorly. 5 games, 5 wins, 15 points, 10 goal difference. And to be honest with you, Manchester City are lucky to be ahead of us and do have a kind of small bad news, but otherwise everything is going smoothly so far, and hopefully we can kick off our Champions League campaign in a similar manner to the way that we did our Premier League campaign, and that is with a win. So in terms of what happened since the last episode, we showed you a 2-0 win over Cardiff. Managed to beat Everton 3-2 away from home, with Sanchez grabbing a brace, Pogba getting on the score sheet as well. Everton, it was a relatively easy win. The result looks much more closer than the actual performance. Against Burnley, though, we managed to destroy them 4-0 at home, with Jesse Lingard grabbing all 4 goals. It's a good thing that he is our shadow striker and the first choice option there, proving that he should be ahead of Mata so far, but he's going to have to keep it up all season. Anyways, managed to also beat Chelsea away from home 1-0. United actually had played Chelsea away from home as well fairly recently, just on Saturday. And it was interesting. I didn't think we would actually grab the win. I thought a point would be decent, but we managed to get the win through Sanchez, with Antonio Valencia being the man of the match, but picking up an injury. I feel like in FM19 there's so many more injuries. I'm not sure whether it's my training. I left the training to my assistant manager. I'd never ever done that before. But while I get to grips with it, understanding the system and whatnot, I've just left it to my assistant manager. And I'm not sure if it's him or whether it's FM19, but either way, still dealing with a ton of injuries. We also got another injury in fixture against Newcastle, 3-1 win with Anthony Martial and Juan Mata all on the score sheet. Brace for him there, with Jamal scoring, capitalizing on a David De Gea error apparently. But either way, good performance. 3 points is all that really matters, and we just have to keep it up for another couple of months, really. But yeah, so the fixture of this month is going to be the Champions League game, like we mentioned. Southampton, Walsall and Brighton aren't exactly huge games either. We should be picking up all the points possible, and of course advancing into the next stage of the Carabao Cup. But for the next episode, we have a nice little tasty clash, back-to-back double header. Showing you Bayern in the Champions League and Manchester City in the league back-to-back. I did mention in the last episode we show you Arsenal, but it looks like this would be a better episode the way that it's shaping up, especially the way Manchester City are playing. So what I mentioned about the Premier League table and why Manchester City are lucky is because I actually had, this is the beta mode, but so there are some bugs. So we actually had a bug where we couldn't, it would say that's processing into the match engine, I suppose. After that point where you submit your team, and it just wouldn't do that. I went on the community Sega to actually sort that out, and they did help. They're going to hopefully address that issue in the actual full release, but they did mention something that could solve it temporarily, so I did that and it helped. But I didn't know that you could do something at the time, so I just reset the game and it reloaded from the game before the match before with Newcastle. So before I did that, Manchester City actually dropped points, but because I reset everything, so Manchester City ended up winning the game, and now they're level on points, and that's when we actually could have been first choice. Arsenal as well were 3 points behind us. They're still 3 points behind here too, but I think the teams below us were also a bit worse off. But either way, just have to deal with it, move on, and I hope that doesn't come down to 2 points at the end of the season with Manchester City winning it. That would be just terrible, just a terrible way to end things. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and get into today's game. Little news update. I'm not sure I mentioned we did sell Matteo Darmian before even starting the season, so I just wanted to let you guys know that. But the other update is to show you is actually that Rojo, we've officially sold him to a Chinese club. I'm not even going to attempt to say that. Half his value, better to move him on. He's on incredible wages, and we could potentially give that to Anthony Martial, who's still unhappy with his contract. I actually need to offer him a new contract. Could probably do that after this episode. And I can't remember who else there is to tie up. But that's pretty much it. Tactics remaining the same. Seems to be working. No real errors, but the sooner I can move away from having similar roles from each other, the better. So we'll get things kicked off with this team. A couple of injuries to deal with. We've got Sandro out for a while, 7 to 10 weeks. We've also got Valencia out for 4 to 7 weeks. Fred, just a little bit of a knock. He should be back soon, 3 days. But I'm hoping the injuries just stop. Really, it's not so good. We've got Lindelof in right back because Young and Valencia are both, Valencia was injured. Young just got back from injury, he's not fully fit. Jones on the ball playing defender role, which isn't his, the best way to use him, to be honest. But he is a backup player, so it's not a concern. Bailly, Shaw, Matic standard. Shaw coming in for Sandro, of course. Pereira coming in for Fred. Fellaini's had an opportunity there before, and that's just Pereira's chance to see what he can do, and potentially, he should develop as well. Pogba, standard first choice. Mata coming in for Lingard, who struggled in his last match. Sanchez takes up. He's not going to play as a target man. We'll switch that, of course, but just not here. And Martial coming in. Lukaku having, some of my players have been really weird. They have a really good game one day and then a terrible one the next, particularly my attackers. I'm not so sure what it is just yet. Could just be their individual thing or something tactically, but I mean, we still win games, so I'm not too concerned in terms of tactics. I think it's just a form issue. Also have a bit of a weird bug where the team don't actually fully load. Thankfully this time it actually did, but in general it just doesn't really load. But yeah, usual 4-1-2-1-2 formation. We're playing a kind of a defensive formation, I guess. 2 DMs, but then they're also playing a three-man front line. Hopefully we can still break them down, and yeah, expect all 3 points. We should be winning to start out, so let's give the fans a performance that they are expecting from us. Just encourage my whole team, go to tactics, quickly change Sanchez to complete forward on support, which suits our overall style of play anyways. And I think we're good to go. Lindelof should be okay in that complete wing back role, not his best. I just now realised that maybe it would have been a good idea to have done this, but also to have brought on Dalot from the under-23s while since Valencia and Young are injured. But either way, Lindelof should be able to do the job too. Alright, so there you go. Viktoria having the ball. I'm assuming they kicked off and that we didn't lose the ball within the first 15 seconds of the game, because that would be kind of disappointing. But all that really matters is a win, and they already got a corner kick, so I'm hoping even with extended highlights we won't see that. Okay, we are going to get a view of it apparently. Alright, not too many bodies in the box, so we just have to keep an eye on runs. Ooh, not bad. Okay, clear it. I almost fell to their own player. Alright, nonetheless, 3 points is really that matters. I don't mind scraping 1-0 through, but I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. We should dominate them in midfield. They do have the wingers, going in their favour. Shaw's going to lose this for sure. Shaw losing it for sure. But yeah, Viktoria did look to be doing okay, to be honest. I'm not too happy with how we've started. Unless we win this back in counter, don't think we've done that well. Shaw, can you win it back? Nope, he's gone for it, but not really gone for it. It was a bit weird tackle. Pereira trying to cover for him. He's gotten back in position finally. Ball comes into the box. That's a header and a half. He's got 2 players on him, and neither of them can deal with them. Jones and Bailly, and I think it's Bailly who's the culprit, to be honest, and not the way we want to start this game or even start the Champions League. Thankfully, there's no lag. I've tried out a new streaming software, I suppose. It's not QuickTime, it's OBS, which everyone apparently uses. Look at that, between the centre backs. Actually, let me just pause that 1 second. Is it Jones? Yeah, it is Jones and Bailly, and that is Lindelof there. I mean, you can't ask your midfielders to be dropping that deep in the first place, and Jones and Bailly are there. They should be stopping that. And you'd even argue David De Gea should be saving that. Anyways, chance for us to recover here early. If we can peg them back right away, that'd be great. Matic to Pogba to Shaw. Just needs a good delivery into the box. Back to Pogba. Can he take the shot? He will. But it's a poor one and goes to that weird assistant referee on the touchline. Let's have a look at the tactics. Matic wants to play something more. Right, so they try and play out the back. Be interesting to play out the black, but yeah. Anyways, we do play a short sort of pass and move possession type of football, so it would make sense for our own goalkeeper to play out of the back. I don't know, I just feel like it kind of pulls our team all over the place, and this is what Viktoria are doing at the moment as well, just pulling us all over the making use of their strengths and exploiting our weaknesses at the same time, and that's how you win games, because every formation and every tactic has a weakness and a strength, and they're making theirs show. But we win the ball back well through Lindelof. Right back putting in a centre-back header, I suppose. Andreas, can he spread the ball to Lindelof? He does it to Shaw instead. Hasn't had the best of games so far, but still early. Can make amends if he can beat his man and deliver the cross. Doesn't beat his man, but he does deliver the cross. Sanchez down to Andreas Pereira. Would have been lovely to have him grab a goal. But yeah, David De Gea, we are playing him as a sweeper keeper as well, so he can potentially do that type of passing, I suppose. But yeah, I just feel like that it just does something weird to your shape that I'm not really a fan of. So David De Gea, there's no instructions to do, play out the back or anything like that, and I haven't even told my players to do that either. And I think, my decision was validated by David De Gea grabbing an assist. Can't remember which match, but he did grab it in one of the fixtures I didn't show. We can actually pause the game. I'm going to make a tactical tweak, but also just to have a quick look at, what does this say? Saves tips. I didn't even know they had these details. How can I see if he's form, or is it stats? Oh, he's made a mistake. Okay, fair enough. No goals, pens. Okay, apparently there's no assist. This is weird. I don't want to waste too time on this anyways, but he did grab an assist is the point. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to push our advanced playmakers a bit further forward, ask them to dribble more, get a bit more forward. We need to do something to tip this game into our favour. Later on we'll switch into attacking mentality if need be, but it's still early, just 30 minutes, so I just wanted to see if this will help things. As you can tell, Pogba already dribbling a lot more. Shaw, if he can find Pogba again. Yep, he does. Back to Shaw. Can he find a telling cross? That's all we need from our fullbacks. Very decent ball in, and that should have been converted, to be honest. Who was that? Just says great play by Shaw, but I'm not so sure who it was. Maybe it was Martial. Martial and Matas playing poorly. We need to take them off at the earliest opportunity, but for now they have an opportunity to improve their form. Alright, go on Shaw. Lost out eventually. Ooh, Pogba to Mata. Can he finish it? He's our shadow striker. Takes the shot, but not well enough. Can Matic find Lindelof? Yeah, that's the ball that I want him to play, but not to concede possession like that. And Viktoria could be on their way on the counter-attack. Thankfully, Bailly just puts off their striker well enough. But you have to say, my players are not bothered to win the match today. You'd argue there's a bit of complacency probably creeping into the side. Viktoria are just much more fired up than us, and this is the type of game that we can't afford to lose. Not only, we're away from home, but it's still not acceptable, simply because we have Bayern Munich in our table, we have Valencia in our group as well, and this is pretty much the only team that we have to make sure we grab all 6 points from, because it's going to be difficult to do against Bayern in particular, and also of course Valencia. Lindelof, don't expect a centre-back to beat his man down that flank, but I was hoping he could do. Alright, he's going all the way. Pogba! I thought Lindelof was going to have to shot himself. He squares it well for Pogba, and the Frenchman should have done better from that position. And it looks like we're heading into half-time with a 1-0. What's the opposite of lead? How can I forget the opposite of lead? 1-0 loss. It's not really a loss because it's not over. Anyways, dressing room time. Obviously need to tell my players off, question whether they're even motivated for the match, and then try and get them fired up. So it looks like we've done our job. The players look like they want to walk through walls, which is good, but hopefully they can walk through the Viktoria players instead of walls. Jones, good ball forward to Shaw, just about wins it. And this is exactly what you want from your complete wingback. Okay, he's already here. This is the correct thing to do. Now what he's meant to do, right, whether he's capable or not is a different issue, but what he's meant to do is actually beat this man as well at fullback, not just the winger. Beat him, get to the byline and cross the ball in. That's what he's meant to do. But watch what Shaw has been doing so far and what he'll probably do now, which is just about get to here and then cross it. And this is it's not really that deep, but it's deep. It's too deep for a complete wingback. He should be getting to the byline. So there you go. He tries to take his man on. He loses it. That's fine. There's always a risk with that. But I'd argue Shaw is not too good as a complete wingback in comparison to Alexandra. Anyways, Pereira with the set piece. Jones couldn't do enough, but it comes back to Pereira. Another opportunity for him to get the ball into the box. Does well matter. And that man, the Spaniard, is getting... him and Martial 100% getting taken off. We're going to bring on Rashford in place of Martial. I'm going to take off Mata for Lingard, and hopefully they can turn the game in our favour. But first, Pogba wins the ball back well. Martial's there. Can he find anyone? Can't go solo, but he's going to try. And kind of sums up his game, really. Sums up my whole team's game. And we need to improve drastically. We're playing with a 4-1-2-1 formation, playing with a possession type of style, and we're still not as much possession as our opponents, who don't, they're not dominating the midfield or anything. So it just comes down to our poor passing, poor confidence. But hopefully Lindelof can change that. Trying to take his man on, but he couldn't, so he finds Pereira instead. Back to Lindelof now. He just has to deliver the ball. See, this is how you do it. Get to the byline. Martial's there. And good save from the goalkeeper. But again, that should be tucked away 100%. And after this corner, we'll make our changes. Pereira, what can he do again? He's played fairly well, if you ask me. But yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of how many yellow cards we've got spread across the team. And yeah, that is not what you want to see. Oh, okay, it's a corner. Thought he took a shot, but guess we'll make the change after this corner. Alright then, we need all 3 points, not just a single point, but at the moment we're not going to get either one. Pogba, can he turn and take... Nope, he... Decent touch. Pogba, just turn and deliver the cross. Nope, lose it instead, and the counter is on. Can we win the ball back early? Yes, sure, that's exactly what I want to see from you. Pereira back to Matic. Pogba. Nope, it's supposed to go to Shaw, but eventually reaches him nonetheless. Pogba. Yeah, now he's free. This is when he's supposed to cross properly. And that's when he delivers a ball like that. Pereira, though, still has it. Decent shot, but if he found Lindelof, who's free, might have been a bit more dangerous. Alright, so let's make those tweaks now. Nope, not Lindelof. Let's take off... Oh, even Sanchez having a poor game. Maybe he'll do a bit better with Rashford next to him. Mata for Lingard, and we have one more substitution maker. I'm not really a fan of making all 3 substitutions. Pereira has had a good game, one of our top performers alongside Lindelof. Sure, it's our centre-backs have let us down, and there's no doubt they deserve that rating. And we'll save Pereira for Fellaini for Pereira later on, I guess. Just leave it as is for now. Hopefully those 2 changes are enough. We'll also go into attacking. It's going to be a bit risky for the, we might get hit on the counter a bit more, but 30 minutes left doesn't leave us much opportunity or much time. And Viktoria looking to grab a second here. Can you stop him? Outside the box. Okay, good block, but danger's not done with just yet. Sure. Really good tackle. Can we hit them on the counter? They have a nice little block of 4 to make sure that they don't get hit on the counter. There's always 4 players. These 4 here, the 2 DMs and 2 centre-backs. So really, if we make a tactical change, it would be to have wingers so that we can hit them down the flanks, because that's the weakness to that type of tactic. But we are playing a wingerless formation, which is probably why my players are struggling a bit. Alright, so let's try and make that change, I think, now for Pereira. Maybe it should be... No, I don't want to take off Pogba, but he is the one who's more tired in comparison to Pereira. Pereira's also had a better game, and I'm going to do it. It's a bit of a stupid move, but I'm going to do it. I don't know what else to do. We'll make one last tactical tweak if this one doesn't work, and which is essentially push Lingard into a striker role instead of the attacking midfield role that he's on right now. Sanchez, Lingard's there. Oh, he just about loses it. Please tell me this is the highlight that we score the equaliser, not Viktoria scoring the winner. They hold on to the ball really well, to be honest, to give them some credit, but sure, beaten there, and he'd even need to be outplayed. Alright, tackle eventually comes in. Sanchez wins the ball well. Rashford's there. Can he beat his man? That's all he has to do. Okay, surrounded now, but he's still going to try to make the most out of it, and I guess that's as good as it's going to come. If he could just have held onto the ball a tiny bit longer, played a teammate in or something, would have been a bit better. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. It's 10 minutes left. There's not much else I can do other than that. I'm not sure if this is even tactically correct, to be honest. I think we need complete forwards on both the... So it's not Rashford's best role, but I think this is how I used to do it, but I can't remember. Anyways, there's one more highlight apparently before that happens. And I am now really worried. Lingard though. Oh, you should have squared that or finished it. I mean, the chances are there, the players are just not taking them. We're on attacking, we've got 3 strikers on the pitch. And if we don't score now, we're not even going to get a point, let alone 3. But based on our performance, we don't even deserve the draw, to be honest. Viktoria outplayed us without a doubt, and the players were just not on it today. Okay, I wanted to tell them off quickly, but there's going to be another highlight here. Yes, sure. Rashford coming in deep for that complete forward on support role. Shaw's there again. What can he do? Andres Pereira. Back to Shaw. Just deliver the... Oh. Has to be a better cross than that. I mean, come on. You've got everyone under the sun in the box, and you still couldn't find them. Highlight continues though, so it could still go in our favour, but if I know anything about FM, it's going to go in Viktoria's favour, because that's just how it works. Alright then, nope, Lindelof wins it well. Sanchez, Rashford, just come on, one good ball is all we need. It's a tough one for Sanchez. No way was he going to score from there. He did well to get the contact on it, but yeah, I'd be surprised. So I'm going to do one more thing, which is actually to move Pereira into the Mesler role so he can get a bit further forward and support Lingard, I suppose. But it's about as attacking as I can make my team. There's only a couple minutes left. I doubt that will do anything, but highlight here maybe. Go on Lindelof. There's about 5 players in the box there. Matic, can you find a good cross? Yes, he can. Oh, that was Pereira who we asked to change into a Mesler, and he still couldn't get it done. I want to have a look at the clear-cut chances after this, because I mean, if the game doesn't consider some of those chances as clear-cut chances, I don't know what are. Okay, 30 seconds. I mean, look at how attacking we are. Doesn't get any more than that. And we still can't break down. Actually, we can break them down, we just can't convert. It's the final third where we've really disappointed ourselves today. Or more specifically, we have not had our shooting boots on. Alright, go on Sanchez. Nope, not on it. Not alive to it. He suffered from it. Probably should have moved him onto the other flank to see if that will improve his performances. But honestly, our front 3 today, Sanchez, not Lingard, Mata, and Martial were just a complete letdown today. Look at that, we should have gotten a win instead. Poor start, and now we just have to somehow hope we pick up some unlikely points again against Bayern and Valencia. So apparently just one single clear-cut chance through for both teams, and that fell to Viktoria apparently. No, that's the half chance. Okay. So we had a clear-cut chance that fell to Martial. That one's Martial. And about 4 half chances. And that's 4 different players as well. It's not like it all fell to one player who's performing poorly. It's Pereira there, Mata, Lingard, and Pogba. And none of them could convert. There are 5 players, 1 half chance. None of them can convert. I don't know. I guess we could have tried to have created more clear-cut chances, but I mean, just looking at the actual gameplay, you could tell we could have done much better. That's exactly the message that is going to go across to the players. So hopefully, I mean, honestly, this season my focus is all on the Premier League. I don't think we can go that far in the Champions League. I'd be surprised if we do. Based on tonight's performance, we're not going to go that far. But really, if we just manage to win the Premier League, that would be incredible. But getting Champions League football is probably the most we can aim for. I'm not sure how long our form will go on in Premier League, but hopefully this game doesn't affect it. So Valencia won their game against Bayern, so at least that gives us a bit of a consolation, I suppose. But yeah, next episode, definitely Bayern against Bayern and Manchester City games. We'll be showing you those. That'll be incredible. And the month after that, we'll figure out which game will stand out the most. Might have to show you a Premier League game if there's something that really hangs in the balance, but maybe we'll also show you the Bayern away game, because that'll be pretty interesting to show. But that would only give us a 1-game break, so maybe that might not be the wisest thing to do, but it could be the group decider at that point, because that is, what was that? We played 1, 2, 3. That would be the 4th game. No, I guess it's not that too early. But anyways, we'll decide later. For now, next episode, Bayern and City. Unfortunately, you'll have to miss out on the Arsenal game. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so that's pretty much all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, then of course please do hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Of course, don't forget to hit the notification button as well. And again, thank you guys all very much for watching.